Welcome back. My name is Power Up Peekahoo, the game, Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus. Last time, we made off with 3 more of the Panda King's treasure keys. This time, we'll be looking to pilfer the rest, so we can ride a rocket to the top of his temple. But until then, I've got to sneak past this guard. Which isn't too hard when you can turn invisible. And after that, we head into a rapid-fire assault. Now, let me just say, this is going to probably be the last mainline episode, because after we beat the Panda King, the train don't stop. But for now, let's hear what Bentley has to say.
To the one you found in Miss Ruby's lair. Someone with some serious high-tech skills must be providing these guys with hardware. The 5th member of the Fiendish 5, perhaps? Remember, use the left analog stick to move and aim the right analog stick in the direction you want to shoot. You know, I bet that cannon is powerful enough to blow down those heavy...
Alright, so for this level, it's a lot simpler than the one in Ms. Ruby's world. Just because you're pretty much railroaded down a straight path, and all you have to worry about is these monkeys popping out. And I believe we're about to hear from Panda King. Alright, so this here is probably the hardest part of the entire level. Making sure you don't get overrun while knocking down the trap doors. But once the first one falls, the other 2 quickly follow. And with the gold horseshoe, it's nothing to worry about. Now we head outside, where we find more of these guys throwing their offspring into the void. We can't let them get away with it. We must stop them at all costs. Now then, we are closing in on the end of the level. And is that... I see T-posing. Look up there. The smaller children, the smaller monkeys are just floating in the air. Huh. I've never seen that before. Of course, I'm not the most observant of people, so maybe I just never noticed it before. But now that we've knocked down this pillar, we have access to the treasure key. Now then, next up, I do believe we have our next Carmelita level, which would be Duel by the Dragon. Interesting story. Apparently the dragon was originally supposed to be a giant golden panda Buddha, but that was changed for the more serpentine design of a Chinese dragon, and I think it was the right call.
Freeze,
and there's
Raccoon.
Miss Fox herself.
How can I freeze when my heart warms at the very sight of you?
Shut up, Ringtail. I don't know what you're doing here in China, but I'm sure it can't be good for whoever owns this place.
You must only have eyes for me if you're too blind to see what's going on around here.
All I see is a pathetic thief who's escaped justice for far too long.
I'm proud to be a thief, especially when I'm stealing from a vicious extortionist like the Panda King. Open your eyes, detective. These quaint temples are a front for an illegal explosives factory.
Don't try to confuse the issue. You criminals are all the same, and none of you can escape justice.
Now, I'm not a huge fan of either of the Carmelita levels. The one in Mugshot has pretty shoddy camera work, and while this level's camera work is a bit better, there are sections where you have to wait on Carmelita to do her thing before... Whoops, too busy talking. You have to wait for Carmelita to do her thing before you're allowed to continue, and I'm not a huge fan of having to wait on her. But it is a lot easier to collect bottles when the point of no return doesn't exist here, I don't believe. There might be, but I've never had to go back to look for one. Because in this level, bottles are pretty straightforward. You just gotta make sure not to get shot by the stormtrooper over there, which isn't that hard. And we are just about to come up on the part of this level that annoys me greatly. And if the camera would stop misbehaving. There we are. Right here, you have to wait for Carmelita to shoot open the window. And with Sly's already slow speed on the blue aura section, it just kind of drags the level down, in my opinion. But with that section over with, we can make our mad dash to the finish line. And I believe we have collected all the bottles, with these two being the last ones. Yep. Now this part always confused me. I understand how the fireworks knock down the icicles, but then how did the new ones replace the old ones that Carmelita shoots?
Unfortunately, this vault code appears to have been written in owl dialect. I won't be able to crack the code until we meet and defeat the bird who created it.
Now, two things about that vault. Firstly, the owl dialect vault is whatever one in Panda King you take down, you finish last.
Watch your back, Cooper. When you least expect it, I'll be there.
Why you have to defeat the owl that wrote it in order to decipher it, that I do not know. But we'll have to come back for that vault in the bonus episode, which I will be doing to cover the Master Thief sprints. But for now, whoops, we have one last desperate race.
Murray, what are you doing down there?
Well, I'm minding my post when I notice a snow cone stand, and I think to myself, hey Murray, you gotta keep your energy up. So I hurry over here, and then all of a sudden, monkeys are everywhere, bugging me to race them 3 times around this track for a key.
We could use the key. Think you could take them?
Come on, Sly, they're a pack of monkeys. How can I lose?
All right, remember, steer with the left stick and press square to use any nitro boosts you collect. Keep clear of those icy patches.
Thanks for the advice, Sly, but trust me, I got this under control.
Now, of the two races, I much prefer the race in Mugshot's level, purely because it's a lot more aesthetically pleasing. There are the billboards on the side, there are the different types of cars, and there's no janky ice physics either, which only serve to annoy me. But so far we are indeed getting the best of this bunch of monkeys, which is honestly somewhat surprising, because if there's a way to lose, somehow I will find it. But with only one ahead of us, and us quickly closing the gap, I think we have this race under wraps. Yeah. Unfortunately, all the cars are the same, even if it is a nice design with the snow wheels tearing up the track. But we are in first, and I don't intend on losing that position. Of course, I don't intend many things, and somehow they still happen, so hey. So we'll just have to wait and see how this pans out. Taking that corner just a wee bit too sharply for my tastes. Almost bonked into the wall, but I think
Nice driving, Murray. Now,
we're home
go
free.
get that key.
And that's 7 treasure keys acquired. Now we can square off against Panda King, who is probably the easiest boss in the whole game. I mean, he has obvious visual cues, obvious audio cues. It's just, there's really no difficulty to this boss fight, I feel. And for the penultimate boss, that's kind of not great. But with the 99% success rate coming through, we now head in to Flamefoo.
Of notorious Cooper thief clan. Have you come here for revenge? To steal back the Thievius Raccoonus?
That was my plan at first, but now I'm more interested in putting an end to your avalanche extortion racket.
Why should you care if I bury a few worthless village in snow? You are a thief, just like me.
No, that's only half right. I am a thief from a long line of master thieves, while you're just a frustrated firework artist turned homicidal pyromaniac.
Insolent child. You shall pay dearly for your disrespect. Still, to honor your Cooper ancestry, I will send you to your doom with the beauty of my new firework technique, Flamefoo.
Now in this boss fight, there's a whole lot of clutter, a lot of things where you're supposed to hide behind them to protect against the Flamefoo, but really all you have to do is run in a circle and you'll be just fine. Then you whack on him until he belly slams you away and you start the process all over again. Interestingly, originally I thought fiery wheel, I thought he was saying something in French, fiery wheel, which I now know isn't French, but just fiery wheel. Why he's saying it in English when they could have given it a cool Chinese name, I don't know. But I do believe we're on the last little sliver of health. And that's the boss fight done.
Your skill with that cane is unparalleled.
Sly, I did a cross-analysis of the metal used in that high-tech blasting vehicle, and it turns out it can only be found in one place. The Krakatoa volcano in Russia. That's got to be where we'll find the 5th member of the Fiendish Five. So get what you came for and let's get out of here!
Retrieving the Panda King section of the Thievius Raccoonus gave me a chance to learn about my technically minded ancestor, Otto Van Cooper. Not known for his physical dexterity, Otto relied on vehicles to aid him in his criminal endeavors. Armed with his designs, I was sure Murray would be able to make some cool modifications to the team van. A frustrated Inspector Fox having missed me coming down the mountain, threw the Panda King in jail, thus putting an end to his avalanche protection services and ensuring the safety of mountain villages throughout China. My gang and I took a little time off and did some shopping in Hong Kong. Thoroughly relaxed, we headed home to plan our next move.
Okay, partner, this is
And now
a trip to Clockwork's
we check
lair.
up to see on Murray one last time to see him casually eating a hot dog. And we make our way into the final level.
We were on our way to the Krakara volcano in Russia. While looking over what little information I had on the final member of the Fiendish Five, I began to notice something. In the 4 parts of the Thievius Raccoonus recovered so far, several of the pictures depict a shadowy owl-like figure, which looks very similar to the police images of the mysterious Clockwork. Is this a strange coincidence, or is there something I'm missing?
Sly Cooper in the cold heart of hate.
Hey, Sly! The
And of
road's
course, what
closed.
final level is
It's
complete?
locked. Do me a favor, shoot out that lock for me, would you, pal?
Without an infinite ammo
Oh,
turret.
Check out all those mines. Think you can blow them away and clear a safe path for us?
I really like this opening segment where it's just you, the wide open road, and your turrets. Of course, you have to make that road wide open by clearing out a number of obstacles.
First
And for
things
those of you
first,
who don't
we've got Hawk
know,
Robo-Falcons at 12 o'clock, Sly.
you can clear out those rocks early before they start coming down on you, making your life significantly easier.
It's a giant death ray! Sly, take out those rocks or we're in trouble!
Or you could have very bad aim like me and miss them all.
Falcons are back.
Now these Robo Owls, they're probably my least favorite part of this level, just because they can be so gosh darn hard to hit. Of course, that's also predicated on me having really bad aim. Again, I play RPGs, not shoot 'em ups. Every time I try and play something like PUBG, I wind up missing the broadside of a barn. Though I can't really call out Carmelita on being a stormtrooper when I'm one myself.
We're getting swarmed.
Now comes the part where I'm most likely to lose a horseshoe. The dive bomb swarm. Why these robotic owls just feel the need to kamikaze into you? I have no idea.
Shooting, Sly.
But I cleared them out without too much trouble. And now we're moving on
Doesn't look tall enough
to
for the
burning
turret to make it
rubber.
all the way through.
We've got to get through that security door on the far side of the cavern. The only way to unlock it is to analyze at least 60 of those hanging computers.
Would have been easy to get at them if Murray hadn't thrashed our new turret.
Yeah, won't be a problem. I can hack the computer's connection coupling so they'll fall to the ground. Then, Murray will have to run over them with the van.
Okay, and Murray, remember to use our new battering ram by hitting the square button if anyone tries to keep you from those computers.
Murray, there are only 119
This level
computers up
was
there.
by
These fire slugs seem
and large
on getting to
the
them
hardest
before.
level for young me
The
to do.
first 1 to 60 computers
Having to
win.
compete with these devilish slugs. I can't tell you how many times I heard Bentley say, "Murray, there are only 120 computers up there." It's burned into my brain forevermore. But for now, we have to send these demon slugs back into the fiery pits whence they came. Are they demons? What are these slugs actually? I mean, Are they natural creatures? Are they genetically engineered by clockwork? Are they demons? I mean, we see enough ghosts and such. Tell me what you guys think they are. Or are they just massive pains in the Baditsky? Nope, bad slugs. These are my computers, and I ain't sharing none. Now, question. What do these slugs eat? Because they seem awfully interested in these computers. Does that mean they eat metal?
Nice driving,
Molten rock?
Murky. Now we have enough data to open
Oh
the
well,
security
that's enough of my
doors.
pondering.
Just past them is the control room to Clockwork's Death Ray Tower. I think it's time for some Cooper thieving and sabotage. Don't you think, Sly?
Now it's time to perform a daring rescue.
Careful, Sly. Those tiles are booby-trapped. You better get out of there.
Hold on. That's Carmelita. She looks trapped.
Serves that cop right. She's been dogging us from the start.
It's just a misunderstanding. We've got to free her.
Are you crazy, Sly? Clockwork probably stuck her there to trap you.
But if I don't do anything, Carmelita's doomed. Besides, stealing just won't be any fun without her.
Sly, your ridiculous raccoon logic sends shivers up my shell. But if you're determined to go through with this, that barrel will undoubtedly help, though I have no idea how you'll get up there.
Dude, a spire jump here, a rail slide there. I've done this a million times.
I love this part. It's just a small encapsulation of most of the things you've learned upon your journey. Rail walks, rail slides, spire jumps. Like Sly says, there are things we've done a million times. And with that part taken care of, I draw your attention to the coins. Notice how they have Sly's face on them. It's just the little touches that I think make this game really shine. Even with its advanced age of 16 years old, almost 17. But now, we slowly make our way across the security, which raises the question, why was this barrel sitting out where any competent Cooper could snatch it? Well, the answer to that question?
Sly Cooper? I should have known you were behind this.
You got me wrong, Miss Fox. I'm here to rescue you.
It's a trap!
You sentimental fool. Empathy has always been the downfall of the Cooper clan.
I knew this was a trap. Looks like I'm going to have to do some fast and furious hacking to shut down that gas before Sly's brain is turned to cheese.
Now it's time for Bentley to come through before Sly's brains turn to cheese.
The left analog stick to steer and the right analog stick to unleash my hacker code. Those green data packets need to be destroyed if I'm going to get at the yellow security code. Uh-oh. It looks like I triggered one of Clockwork's security algorithms. Stay sharp, Bentley.
This part is pretty difficult, especially since the controls are really slippery. And you can even take damage after you've collected all the security data for a given segment. And with Clockwork security drones creating even more chaos, it certainly doesn't help matters. Fortunately, you can shoot the security code to keep them from destroying you. And now we move on to the final level. I've just got to try and make sure I don't ram into too many more things. Whoa there. Also, the security drone's attacks can break the green data packets as well. So, if you feel like playing a little risky, you can have them help you out. What? Gosh darn it.
I'm the best. No code can stand before me.
Bentley did indeed come through, and now both Carmelita and Sly are safe.
Sly, I was wrong about you. Break me out of this force field by smashing its base, and I'll make it up to you somehow.
I'm sure you will. But now, we move onwards to a temporary truce.
I don't get it, Cooper. I've hunted you for years, tried to throw you behind bars, but when you get a chance to leave me in a cage, you set me free. Why?
Carmelita, we may be on opposite sides of the law, but you're not my enemy. Now, the homicidal robotic owl that built this death ray and nearly gassed us to death, that guy's on my list.
I see your point. All right. Until Clockwork and his evil schemes are destroyed, I suggest we work together.
Together at last. Huh, wait. I need that cane. It's been in my family for generations.
Don't worry, Ringtail. I'll cover you while you get it back. If you can, make your way to the top of the death ray. I stashed my jetpack there before Clockwork nabbed me.
Now that we're a team at all, I hate to leave your side.
Hold on. This truce is only temporary. Once we beat Clockwork, I'm coming after you.
Really?
Well, maybe I'll give you a 10-second head start.
It's nice to see, even with her terrible aim, when it really matters, Carmelita comes through. Now, as we make our dash for the cane that Sly should have never let go, I bring your attention to annoying cylinders that take way too many shots to break. Also these owls. Because what is life without more owls than you care to admit? Everyone loves owls. Now, if you break them all beforehand, Sly just makes a mad dash towards the end. Pretty neat.
Nice job, Raccoon.
And now we come to the final segment, a sinking peril.
Where's Carmelita's jetpack? Right where she said it would be. The magnetronic support field for the death ray got destroyed as you were making a run for your cane. You'd better hurry. This whole thing is about to fall apart.
I'm on it.
Now this is another level that can really do you dirty when it comes to the circle button auto-targeting. Because if you're not careful, it'll tag onto the wrong thing and you'll lose a lot of time. But fortunately, you can gain a decent chunk of time by just jumping over those electromagnetic doohickeys with a well-timed double jump.
With your cane, you've got to keep moving.
Got to keep moving, got to keep safe. I know, Bentley. I'm not just gonna let the lava consume me. I have greater plans than becoming Squirrel Barbecue. Or Raccoon Barbecue. Excuse me. I'm sure Sly would be deeply insulted if he heard I called him a squirrel. But squirrels are cool, dang it. But as I make a mad dash forward, I do believe we're going to make it. Just barely. especially since the lava is nipping at my heels. Fortunately, we have made it to Carmelita's jetpack and are now on to a strange reunion.
Okay, that jetpack is easy to fly. Use the left analog stick to aim and steer, and press the square button to fire his rockets. Sly! Behind you!
Sly Cooper, you have escaped my gas chamber and destroyed my death ray. Remarkable. You Coopers always find a way to beat me.
Always? So that was you in the background of all those old pictures in the Thievius Raccoonus. How old are you?
Perfection has no age.
What? You're immortal?
Revenge is the prime ingredient in the fountain of youth. I've kept myself alive for hundreds of years with a steady diet of jealousy and hate, awaiting a day when I would finally eclipse your family's thieving reputation.
Sly! My missiles don't hurt him but seem to create holes in his armor. Shoot into the gaps I create!
Now we come to the final boss fight, Clockwork. And like any good final boss, he has multiple stages. But let's deal with this stage first, with the police jetpack that has rocket launchers attached to it. Why does it have a rocket launcher attached to it? Why did Carmelita even have a jetpack? The world may never know. But with stage 1 complete, he falls deep, deep into the lava.
Nice shooting, Sly! You got him! Wow, that's one tough owl.
I don't get it. You're so familiar with my family. You must have known my father had a son. If you hated the Coopers so much, why did you let me live when you stole the Thievius Raccoonus?
Because I wanted to show the world that without your precious book, the Cooper line was nothing.
Ah, well, there's where you're wrong. The Thievius Raccoonus doesn't create great thieves. It takes great thieves to create the Thievius Raccoonus.
Enough, Sly Cooper. It ends here. I will finish you like I finished your father. Then the Cooper line will be erased, and the only master thief will be Clockwork.
I love Sly's witty banter in this final fight. Now for this stage, all you have to do is fly through the center of these rings and you'll be a-okay. And then, just like before,
You can
shoot into the gaps that Carmelita creates. I may not be able to dodge you forever, but I can sure try. And I can sure do it long enough to defeat you. Now, I just need to make sure I don't get blasted and made to look like a fool yet again. But I just need to take out one more segment. And there's Carmelita's shot. The Clockwork goes down for a second time.
Now's your only chance, Sly! You've got to get to his head and destroy it before his auto...
I am.
And fittingly, the final segment is a platforming challenge,
Flowers.
where the things we've learned are put to the test, and we listen to Clockwork ramble on about flowers. Now, for the longest time, I didn't know why Clockwork was talking about flowers, but I have a theory. He's talking about things he hates to power up the hate chip.
Together.
Ooh, that was close. In order to fuel his self-repair. But now,
Cooper!
we finish this.
You will never be rid of me. Clockwork is superior.
You're about as superior as a slice of moldy bread.
It took some tricky maneuvering, but I managed to snatch that last piece of the Thievius Raccoonus from Clockwork's claw. I had taken down each member of the Fiendish Five: Raleigh, Mugshot, Ms. Ruby, the Panda King, and finally Clockwork. I'd beaten them all one by one and reclaimed my birthright. Of course, there was no way I could have gotten here without the help of my pals. I know this hasn't been easy for them, yet they stuck with me through it all. Murray, It took a lot of guts for him to get out in the field with me. I know he was scared, but he's got more heart than anyone I've ever known. And thank goodness for Bentley. Without his expertise, I'd have never found my way off that rooftop in Paris. A guy couldn't ask for a better gang of friends. Who could ever forget the lovely Carmelita? Looks like we're not going to be friends anymore. Now that Clockwork's death ray is out of commission, we're back to playing cops and robbers. I thought for sure she was going to slap the handcuffs on me right then and there. But instead, she was true to her word and gave me that 10-second head start. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I felt bad leaving her stranded on that giant rock, but I knew it wouldn't be long before we'd see each other again.
And so, our journey comes to a close. We have defeated Clockwork, and next, we conquer the Master Thief's Prince. But that's not until the bonus episode. I'd like to thank all of you for coming with me on this journey. And also, to announce my next Let's Play, I'll give you a hint. It's a JRPG, and it's scheduled for a long-awaited sequel in January. Let's see who can figure out what it is before the episode goes live. But for now, like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, and I think I'm forgetting something. Yes. Get off my lawn, you filthy casual. Credits, play me out.